Welcome to 338 Seconds Doctor Who, The Empire of Death. Oh, looks like a self-to-word search. It's a wonder he didn't write it in Sanskrit. Any rush machine gun? Yes. Megaflinks. Scourge of Skynet. Oh.
I fear the wounds are fatal.
Wipeout. Bloody Thanos. This is what Bonnie was made to scream for. I kind of wanted Cherry to crack her with a kettle.
Is a Tardis remembered?
Tardis remembered, a bit of autobiography there. Russell sure remembers.
Now I know every beat of the heart of your time machine.
Then he left the brake on. Finally we get Chudy's doctor angry.
I'll tell you a secret. Suits.
Pieces of every TARDIS that ever was.
As you can see, I like the reprise of Gaiman's Junk TARDIS and Rose's Garden Shed. And there's a character in here that we didn't get from Tennant's open plan hand-me-down. Things hanging from sockets, trailing wires and cords. It's a mess, but it's a lived-in place. The narrative seems to infer that Sutek has been riding the TARDIS ever since the Pyramids of Mars. And I bet it kind of makes the Doctor feel that he should have stayed with UNAT when the Time Lords grounded him.
All I've got is this chaffee. Do you want some?
We haven't had a Doctor Who new word for a while. Today's one is chaffy.
Brindle D.
Another orphan. Story of this woman talking to her dead baby who she doesn't remember is dead or names of family is tragic. It's a very nuanced, very poetic piece that serves to project the themes of the epic story at a ground level. Though I'm not sure it really unlocks any of the mysteries that we're looking to and feels like it stalls the story to some extent. That could be tricky. She's going to have to pour the coffee. Maybe she's using a grinder. I'm not sure Mel did meet Einstein. I mean, I've looked at the wiki and everything. I think the Doctor's misremembering. Very much shades of a commentary on COVID here. That black cloud, that imminent fear of death, complete isolation. Another indication of this is that the Doctor has become a plague carrier. And that paranoia that each of us felt, wondering if we were silently transmitting COVID-19 onto others without even being aware of it. And we see this again with Mel with the cold, feeling tired. Of course, I'm not surprised she's exhausted all the bobbing up and down she used to do. Roger Aquillian, do you say? Coming to this key plot point, it must be a reference to Peter Davidson's regeneration. So the Doctor uses the worst PM in history to uncover the series' big secret. The bait and switch works well here. It's good action beats. I've heard a few fans say that they're uncomfortable with the big TARDIS space, and I really like it, but the problem is that it's not used. There's nothing to fill it. It's designed as a signifier. Past adventures have used it for things, but in this case, the environment lays empty. So it works and it doesn't. And how it works is a second bait and switch here. We think Sutek's going to get inside. So taking the dog for a walk is RTD's reset switch, only marginally better than the last of the Time Lords. There's a simplicity to it that cheapens the payoff. It's a bit much to have the Doctor tour the whole universe in 3 minutes of runtime. My feeling is if you're going to rip off a story of your own, it may as well be one of your better ones. And maybe don't rip off a finale for a finale. Writers, be sneaky. Hooray for animal cruelty. Bet they're going to quit smoking. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it. Vogue. Yeah, but they won't be rehiring Harriet Harbinger. Susan Twists exist? I mean, how many Susan Twists are there? Is this a Crisis on Infinite Susan Twists kind of thing?
I think UNIT can use you.
Yeah, so name's Andy, I'm looking for a job. I watched Doctor Who on Saturday. Big fan of the Brigadier. Good typist. Sure, I can start Monday. I have issues with the focus on Ruby's mother, mitigated some by Michelle Greenwich's performances. Ruby's mother as key identity seemed to strike at diminishing Carla, who for the little we know of her is a brilliant mother. It doesn't quite work for me that we have Ruby's mother triumphant over Sutek, so it works perfectly well as a piece of poetry. But I'm much more of the love of the school of road mapping, world building and storytelling architecture. I'm glad it's not one of those cafes where they put stickers in your cups. Unless he knew her name. What are the chances of that, her coming into Ruby's regular cafe? Now screw this bitch, she left Ruby in sub-zero temperatures.
I talk about family in a way that I never did before.
But actually it is to underscore the relationship between the Doctor and Susan. Whether it's just fan finickiness or set up for a season or two to come. Susan's who's being alluded to here. Judy's Dr. Leaves is a quiet, solitary figure, very much not what I was expecting. And since Ruby Road, he's shown little of the flamboyancy. That's been a surprise. His physical energy is where he shines, where he's at risk of flanderization. But this season, he has moved a little more like William Hartnell. Don't hit me. I always thought Mrs. Flood was a bit frosty. I would be grateful if you'd subscribe to the Andrew Luke channel. There's some really good stuff coming down the line. How do I get out of this thing?